Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you are greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another AB Daily News with the hockey coach, your coach FRENCHY. Today, episode number 251. What do you have been coach today? First of all, we're going to talk about the team success. Secondly, we're going to talk about the review weekend, Super Bowl weekend, Montreal Canadiens back-to-back game. And finally, it's time to talk about the Montreal Canadiens Prospect Weekly Report. Grenier is saying what's happening for a specific players, maybe two. Until then, my friend, before we start, we invite you, don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation show, and leave me a comment about this episode, and let's talking about my first subject of the day. My first subject of the day, guys, is about the team success. How are you going to qualify at the end of the season? The Montreal Canadiens overall have a good year, and you can say this is what a success overall. With only 29 games now for the rest of the season for the Montreal Canadiens, 8 of the Atlantic Division, 26 in the standing overall in NHL. I think you have some different aspects. I think Montreal can continue to improve. First of all, I think it's Martin St. Louis. Not that he's a bad coach. I think Martin St. Louis needs to improve like any other players he has right now in the roster. Why? Because it's just his full first year as a head coach. I think overall he did a pretty good job. More about the development progression. But I think for the rest of the season, managed a little bit more the situation with the goaltender. Secondly, the TOI, time management, about the ice time for different players inside this hockey team. Thirdly, how he going to readjust a little bit better during the game, after one period, after second period. And finally, prepare already of finishing this season the way he wants his team become in the future, about his concept he talk about all the time, how he play the game and the game. So it'll be really interesting how Martin St. Louis is going to continue to develop until the end of the season. Secondly, the rookies. Unfortunately, you have not many anymore because many of them are already injuries. But I'm talking more about Kovacevic right now, Jordan Harris, Justin Barron. All the rookies play with Montreal. How they're going to finish this season, the rest of the season, and how going to finish strong, to learning more and more, to get more reps and to see what they're going to do for the upcoming season. I think the next thing is about the rest of the other players. I'm talking about Pitlick, Peseta, Ilonen. What they are the players right there, they have to fight every single day to keep their job in NHL. So it'll be interesting how they're going to finish the season with the Montreal Canadiens. Finally, it's all about the improvement, the progression, and development for the Montreal Canadiens. I think at the end, that's what they're going to looking for not only as a team, but of course for different players. Then Martin St. Louis talk about the build the brand. What he tried to talk about the brand, the culture, like many of you knows, it's about the identity. What kind of team they want to become in the future. What it takes, every players, when they join the Montreal Canadiens, they understand the concept, how they works, the Montreal Canadiens with under Martin St. Louis. And that's why he tried to develop every single day since he became the head coach for the Montreal Canadiens. It's going to be very interesting to see how Martin St. Louis is going to continue to keep the brand and the intensity of the team with many trade possible at trade deadline and possible with some kind of adversity for the rest of the season with 29 games to go. Then I think another factor is what Canadiens can do before the end of the trade deadline to add more asset. I think they need more. They cannot go with the trade deadline with no trade. And this is a great, big job for Canadiens. The next couple of weeks will tell us, but this is another reason we can qualify the team success for the Montreal Canadiens. Then the Suzuki Doc. Why? I really believe now they are the punch 1 and 2 as a center. We see how Kirby Doc play with Montreal for the last 6-7 weeks. Now he's scoring during the weekend his 12 goals of the season. He really developed as good hockey player for the Montreal. You know, Nick Ski, whatever, he have some kind of struggle in the last couple of weeks. Now he come back with a couple of points in the last 3 games with the Montreal Canadiens. This is maybe the future for Montreal as a center line with line number 1 and line number 2. Nick Ski and Kirby Dak. They still have 29 games to go and see how they're going to develop. Finally, they have to finish top 4 to pick players. Why? Because they are really amazing players. Talk about Bedard, Fantilli, Carlson, and Mitchkov. They are the players that play easily on the top line for any team in the NHL. From 5 to 12 after that, it's no matter. Oh, you have to pick 5. It's no matter, guys. They're all similar, the players in that initial draft. From 13 to 25, they are all similar after that. But really interesting if Montreal can get those kind of draft pick at the end of the season. Finally, obviously, guys, the Montreal, again, this weekend, they lost Jacky. They already lost Kaden Coley, possibly return in March. Caulfield is out, Esakowski. So what is sad about this is the development is stopped. They only play after the season, and this is going to make them regress or to be on the hold and to wait until next season to come back. It continues the progression and the development with the Montreal Canadiens. So as I want to share with you the AB team success, what I'm looking for the last 29 games for the Montreal Canadiens, I would like to hear from you. How do you qualify the team success for Montreal now? What are you really looking for? Share with me. Leave me a comment below this video. I will definitely reply to you. And let's move on now, guys, for my next subject of the day. My next subject of the day, guys, I want to review a little bit what happenings on the Super Bowl weekend for the Montreal Canadiens. We know they play against the New York Islanders Saturday, and they play against the Edmonton Oilers. Yes, shocking, surprise, I don't know how you want to call it, but they got 2 W. First of all, they get the Islanders. They came back twice to tie the game, 2-2, 3-3. Finally got an overtime goal by Mike Madison and get that W against the New York Islanders. So great performance overall. Mike Hoffman with 3 assists. Montembeault, whatever, he gave 1 goal. Really easy one. I think overall he did really well between the pipe. David Savard had a great game against the New York Islanders. I can mention other names, but at the end of the day, Montreal Canadiens play a solid game against Islanders. It was not over. What was expected Oilers to destroy the Montreal Canadiens, but it's not happening. As the Montreal destroyed the Oilers, wow, by the score 6-2. Jordan Harris, a doublé for the Montreal Canadiens. A great performance after he got an extension contract during the weeks, $2.8 million, 1.4 AAV. Scored his second and third goal of the season. Kirby Dach scored for the Montreal Canadiens. Alex Belzil scored his first goal in NHL at 31 years old. Another great story for the Montreal Canadiens. At the end of the weekend, they scored 10 goals. They gave away 5 goals, and the power play scored 2 goals during the weekend. Great performance overall on Montreal Canadiens. Now, I want to talk about what happening for the goaltending. Allen was between the pipe, solid against Edmonton. Montembeault did very good against the New York Islanders. Both of them have a good weekend. The defense players, guys, Jordan Harris, Savard, and Madison, for me, play a solid weekend for the Montreal Canadiens. Savard was amazing. And then Harris with 2 goals, and Madison, the goal-winning game Saturday. Again, those 3 players was really making an impact on the Montreal during the weekend. What about the line of Doc? Dadonov and Hoffman. I know Anderson score, RHP score, Nixky score, first line, but that line, Dadonov, Hoffman, and Doc was unbelievable during the weekend. They produced offensively all weekend, and you can see Dadonov played a solid hockey for Montreal Canadiens in the last couple of weeks. Same thing for Kirby Dach. For me, that line was very impressive during the weekend for the Montreal Canadiens. Then we have Joel Armia back yesterday from the ER. What is surprised us, I was not expect Armia plays on the weekend. Pitlick was removed from the roster. Finally, during the game yesterday, during a fight, Jacky got hurt with some kind of dislocation shoulder. We don't know yet, honestly, the nature of the injury, but look what happening at the end of the fight. One, he applied a very big jab on the side of the hernia, and then Jacky feel the pain. He go down by himself to protect and to have anything else after that, and that's happening for that fight against Desharnais. And unfortunately for Jacky, could be a little bit a longer term. We're going to see more update for the Montreal tomorrow, but it's not looking good. Finally, the last news about the weekend is Samuel Montembeault was the player of the month in January. Great month for him. And I want to remind you, It was the weekend where two players, ex-teammates from the Montreal Canadiens, came back for the first time after the trade. Romanov Saturday have a great ovation with a nice video for the Montreal Canadiens, and Brett Kulak for the Edmonton Oilers. Two players played for the Montreal Canadiens a couple of years. They was back at the Bell Center for the first time. Overall, great performance for Montreal Canadiens. I understand I'm one of them. I feel bad on the other side because I think Montreal right now are not going to finishing at the bottom four with those two W. And it is what it is. At the end of the day, some fans love it. Some fans are worried. Please leave your comments about the weekend Super Bowl for the Montreal Canadiens. Maybe tell me who stood out during the weekend. Share it with me. Leave me your comments below this video. I will definitely reply to. And let's finishing with my last subject of the day. My last subject of the day, guys, is a quick one. Is the AB Prospect Weekly we do every Monday. Here we go. First of all, Philippe Mazar have a good week with 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. Then Sean Farrell and MEILLEUR have 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points for both of them. Farrell did it only in 1 game. Then Owen Beck have 2 goals and 2 assists for 4 points. They are the best player for the Montreal Canadiens, performing very well last week. We can add William Trudeau with the 2 points, and then Cédric Guindon. What happening for Joshua Roy and Riley Kidney? Both of them play only 1 game. And finally, Lane Hudson did not play on the weekend. So I just want to share with you what happening around for the Montreal Canadiens. We definitely talk a little bit more during the week about Lane Hudson and MEILLEUR. By the way, MEILLEUR is dominate right now, the defenseman with 19 goals in OHL. And leave me a comments, please, about this subject, about the Prospect Weekly. Here we go, guys. This concludes another show of the AB Daily News. Hopefully you enjoyed. But before we leave, we invite you, don't forget, please click on the like, subscribe to the Canadian Show, and leave me a comment about this episode. Until the next time, we want to remind you, of course, you have greatness inside of you, and we wish you an amazing, blessing day, everybody.